Water, the most precious, valuable, and vulnerable resource the planet provides us. It's the one thing all plants, animals, and humans cannot survive without, so it's up to us to keep it clean. Did you know we never get new water on planet Earth? It's the same water being used over and over since the beginning of time. The water we drink is the same water the dinosaurs drank millions of years ago. Water evaporates into the sky and then eventually falls back to Earth's surface through rain, freezing rain, sleet, snow, or hail. We call this stormwater. Most of it absorbs into the ground, but in developed environments like cities and neighborhoods, the stormwater is rerouted through storm drains. There's many kinds, but they usually look like this. Once water goes into a storm drain, it travels through an intricate system of underground pipes and is dispersed from different outlets into local waterways, such as streams and rivers, and ultimately ends up back in our oceans. And unlike wastewater, the used water from toilets, sinks, and showers, which goes to a wastewater treatment plant, stormwater is never cleaned, filtered, or treated. And unfortunately, there's a lot of things going down these storm drains that shouldn't be, making the world's waterways more polluted than ever before. This is Travis. He's a storm drain specialist and engineer with the city of Eureka.
Yeah, there's a lot that can potentially get picked up by this rainwater and put into the storm drains, and some of the main things are trash or pet waste or oil and grease. So the best thing to do is really to pick that stuff up and get it into the garbage or a safe place so it's not going through our storm drain system and getting out into the waters where the fish and the other animals are.
So what's the problem with stormwater pollution? Education curator Christine from the Sequoia Park Zoo in Eureka tells us.
So since the water that goes down the storm drain isn't being cleaned, it's entering the rivers as is. That means that any chemicals, fertilizers, oil from our cars, or trash that's purposely put down there is going straight out into the river, where it's being encountered by all sorts of animals, fish, river otters, eagles, and then out into the ocean, things like sea turtles often mistake plastic for jellyfish and will ingest that and become very sick from that.
Plus, there's millions of cigarette butts that have made it into the water, and fish and animals mistake them for food. And since cigarette filters are made from microplastics, they will never break down and be in the environment forever. They not only get stuck in the tummies of wildlife, but one little cigarette butt can release chemicals into our water for 10 years. And what about oil?
So many of the animals, like the river otters or seabirds, ducks, have a natural oil coating on their fur and their feathers that helps to waterproof them, protect them from the cold water. And when we put in oil from our cars, that can disrupt and break down that layer of protection on their coats and make them much more susceptible to being cold, getting weighted down by the water, and just not being able to insulate and protect themselves as well.
Can you imagine your home being covered in oil, or eating cigarette butts or a plastic bag for dinner? Or how about getting a plastic straw stuck in your nose and no one being able to help you pull it out? How sad. And stormwater pollution is not only terrible for wildlife, but plants and humans who drink the water and eat some of the animals and fish that have been consuming these pollutants. So what can you do to help prevent stormwater pollution?
Picking up trash, making sure it gets into the wastebasket, making sure you pick up pet waste when you walk your dog, and really just making sure it's only water going into the storm drains.
And many cities are trying to spread that message through storm drain art and storm drain plaques. We recently installed some new plaques in Eureka, and today you're going to get to install one too. So join us in the fight against stormwater pollution so we can keep all of the world's water clean.